I visited Manipur and the condition there is absolutely horrific and alarming. We have come back and we have submitted an interim report and recommendations to the President of this country seeking her urgent intervention in Manipur. We have requested that President's rule has to be immediately imposed. We have also requested that the Chief Minister of Manipur should be made to resign. We have appealed that Prime Minister as well as his union ministers must visit Manipur and must take the requisite action in order to ensure that the conflict is de-escalated. We have also recommended that 3 SITs have to be set up. The first SIT should investigate into the causes of the ethnic violence and what steps did the government actually take to contain it and what action has been taken against all those police officers against whom allegations are being made that they actually helped the criminals. This SIT should also investigate that mass looting of the sophisticated weapons of Manipur police. Under what circumstances were so many weapons, more than 4,000 weapons, looted, and what steps were taken by the government to immediately recover them? I think all this needs to be investigated by an SIT which is headed by a retired justice of the Supreme Court. The other SITs should look into, firstly, all those serious cases of murder, extreme violence, missing people, that needs to be investigated by this SIT. And the other SIT should look into the sexual assault cases that have happened and should monitor the investigation of those cases. So we recommend 3 SITs need to be set up, separate SITs, all headed by retired justices from the Honorable Supreme Court. We also recommend that all those women and girls and children who have been subjected to sexual violence, they need to be immediately relocated to Delhi if they so want, and their trials should take place in Delhi. They should be rehabilitated in Delhi. They should be given housing, they should be given jobs, and they should be given a compensation of at least 25 lakh rupees. We have also recommended that there needs to be a helpline that needs to be launched immediately in the state of Manipur. Because when we went and met people, we realized that there is a lot of stigma associated in the society with actually coming out about sexual violence that has taken place. So a helpline needs to be set up. It should be given wide publicity and people should be assured of confidentiality and should be told that if something wrong has happened with them, if sexual violence has happened with them, they must report on the helpline and help and aid will come to them and they will get justice. Another thing that needs to be done, because there are relief camps there in Manipur and they are in a very bad condition. Help needs to reach them immediately. They are extremely overcrowded. There is a complete shortage of clothes, food, and even medicines. That needs to be ensured that all this help, relief material reaches these relief camps, sanitary napkins, and so much more needs to be done. And that help needs to reach the relief camps as well as those people who are still living in remote villages. We also saw that there is no separate care or any kind of a facility that is being provided to victims of violence who are also pregnant, who are lactating mothers, who actually are elderly, who are differently abled, and even there are children who have been orphaned in the violence. So the government must identify these people and must ensure that adequate relief and aid is provided to them and compensation is also urgently provided to them so that they can look after themselves and so that they can lead a better life. We also have requested the president of the country to make sure that all those dead bodies that are lying right now in different hospitals in Manipur, and no steps have been taken in order to make sure that these dead bodies reach their loved ones. I think immediate steps have to be taken in order to make sure that these dead bodies are given to the loved ones, because it's really painful to observe that something like that is happening in Manipur right now. We also learned that the children who are living in relief camps, they have their school education has been stopped. And there are also students who have been studying in higher educational institutes in Manipur, and they have been forced to either flee the state or are unable to attend their classes there. I think immediate steps need to be taken. For the school students, online classes have to be started so that they immediately join their school and no further harm is done to them. The other thing is, with the students who are studying in higher educational institutes, if now no efforts, nothing can be done in order to make sure that they go back to their own educational institutes in Manipur, if that is unfeasible, immediate steps need to be taken in order to make sure that they are admitted in other universities and colleges in other states. What has happened in Manipur is absolutely shameful. There have been incidents of the extreme sexual violence that has happened. Thousands of people have been displaced. Thousands of houses have been burnt. There's so many people who are dead, who are missing. The children, the elderly, the differently abled, women and men of Manipur are suffering and looking towards the center with great hope. I have written to the president of this country. I expect and hope that immediate action is taken by her in this very, very pertinent issue.